Hi, everyone. My name is Esteban Smith, and today we wanted to talk about leadership in the workplace. Mostly a look at how leadership is displayed in a team setting. I want to take a look at one of my colleagues. Her name's Arianna Sandoval. She's actually my direct team lead for my current SEO specialist position at TopSpot. She's actually received her MBA from LSU. She got her bachelor's from Texas Tech University, and she's been with TopSpot for 4.5 years. She actually started in a position that I am actually in at the moment as an SEO specialist when she began with TopSpot. Ariana describes her leadership style as actually a delegated leadership. The delegated leadership style is a style of leadership where a group of leaders assigns projects or assignments to their employees and gives them free reign to do their work. I think that in the position that we are right now, especially as SEO specialists, taking care of about 24 accounts, I think that this is very true. She is two of us that are actually an SEO specialists in these teams, and she actually runs the paid search program. So I think that this leadership style really works really well, especially in the group dynamic that we're in right now, where she has to depend on a lot of us being in an autonomous setting where we can take care of most of the work as she delegates it and sees the bigger picture. Now, I think we can all really kind of see how leadership kind of changes as time progresses and as we kind of move forward in our positions. What I can tell you is that when I first came on to this position and started working on a team with Ariana, after my training, I did feel her leadership come her power and leadership position come more from a legitimate power structure. Whereas, I saw her as she is my team lead. She's the one that I directly report to. So that's where her sense of leadership to me came to when we first started. And then as we kind of progressed and I got a little bit more into knowing what my position was and learning new skills, and her having helped me learn a lot of those skills and kind of incorporate those into the daily task and how to talk to clients, I think that I really kind of moved into an area where I saw her more as a leadership. I saw her position as a leader and power more from an expertise level. And then as of now, I think that we've kind of, as I settled into my position and really have gotten a grasp of everything that I need to know and do, I've kind of seen that leadership kind of evolve for me from my perspective, anything as a referent power kind of structure and dynamic to where she inspires me to want to be kind of like her. And, I can see that the influence that she has over our work, the influence that, she has in our whole company kind of come about and really bringing in a lot of good projects into our team and kind of using that power to really elevate some of the work that we do, and even with some of the clients elevating some of those relationships to a different level. So I think that that's where the power structure sits with us as of now, and that's where I sense that her leadership comes um, from where we started at, where it was just me looking at her like, oh, just because of her position that she has this leadership and this power, to now where I was like, okay, she has a lot of influence and can really um, use that dynamic to kind of work for our benefit a lot in our position and in our team. So I think that when we look at leadership, we also have to look at what drives and how they drive and motivate the staff and those that they're leading. And Ariana really tends to motivate us through culture. Not only because it's a staple within our company, but also because I think it's her personal motto, and I think that she really does encompass a lot of what our culture and our company is. And I mean, like even I keep this little thing where it has all our company mottos on it, but the biggest one I think she exemplifies is we win together, we lose together. A lot of the times we have to remember like in our kind of the way that our work, what we do, and the way that it works is sometimes, we don't see results right away. It kind of takes like 3 or 4 months to see something organically shift, as far as like search engine optimization. So a lot of the time, we have to realize that when we work on things together and, we're trying to move that needle, that although the client might not see it, we also have to, let them know, hey, we're working on it as hard as we can, and taking into account that, maybe our strategy doesn't always work, and we share in the blame sometimes, and we motivate each other by really letting each other know that, although we will share in the wins, we'll also share in the losses. And that doesn't mean that, a loss is always a bad thing. We learn from it and it kind of drives us. So I think Ariana has really exemplified that. She really does take that to heart, and she uses that to motivate us and let us realize that, yes, we might make a mistake. Yes, we might, not always hit it on the on the head of the nail, but should motivate us to work better and to learn from our mistakes and really use those losses to make them gains later on. To know maybe that strategy is not going to work, or even maybe being like, okay, that might have been a mistake we made. Let's put into action some protocols so that it won't happen again. But she uses culture and like letting us have a sense of security and letting us know that, we're allowed to make a few mistakes. We're allowed to learn from that. That it really does motivate us to want to like do better work and drive better results for our clients. So one of the big things that also makes up a great leader is, to me, is the decision making styles. And I think sitting down with everyone and really kind of going through how to make decisions, how to make strategies, where we see that we can kind of positively engage with others or get feedback from them, has really kind of set her apart as a different kind of leader for me as far as like decision making. She's always evaluating the outcomes of every decision she makes, whether what length of time we need or what type of outcome we're actually kind of striving through. This kind of makes us really acknowledge the stakeholders, not only those that will benefit from the decision, but also who's going to get impacted. Um, we work with a lot of industrial clients, and we also have to remember that there's communities out there that will get impacted by some of the decisions that we make. So she does always keep into account that it's not only the people that are in the room that are the stakeholders, it's also the people that are outside the room, or those that are, purchasing or living out in these communities that are getting affected. One of the biggest things that I think was a big light bulb moment for me with Ariana was when we talked about checking for prejudice. And I know we all talk about having unconscious bias, but this is a person that really takes that into mind. Um, Talking about, like, are we making any inferences without all the data? Are we making any judgments without hearing um, every single almost all the information that we need to have? Do our recommendations take into account that maybe we are, having some bias in those decision making? Maybe we're forgetting some things that, we haven't been confronted with, and we really need to look into that. What are the long-term benefits of our decisions? How are our decisions being felt in the long run? Is this a short win? Is it something that, you know, it's not going to affect is going to affect us negatively in the long run? And how will our decisions impact our environment and communities? Again, realizing that a lot of decisions we make, even just on the SEO side, help these industries make more revenue and get more leads. But we also have to remember that, there's also communities out there that will get affected by it. And we have to realize that we do have a sense of responsibility towards those communities. Conflict resolution is a big, big driver in any leadership style, and how you arrive at a decision is also a big characteristic of what your actual leadership style is. I think Ariana, in her position, she has always said that she will remain a moderator. She wants to know, look at both sides and take the position of not having a bias and really making a clear defined solution after she has gathered all the information and that has been presented. Um, really, I think that one of the things that she actually pointed out to me was like really focusing on what's the ultimate goal around here, because I think if we take it as a personal thing, we can get very lost. Can we compromise? And can we help validate each other's points? And I think that she made it very clear that once you get to the place that you want to get, you want to make it very clear, very precise, and very direct to avoid any other miscommunication or misunderstanding with anything. So when I asked, who inspired her, and I asked who inspired her for this very reason, and I think a lot of times we forget that uh, our the people that inspire us, we look to them for leadership. And Ariana was very adamant. She's like, as corny as this might sound, my mom is the person that inspires me. Her mom is Veronica Sandoval. She's an elementary school principal, and Ariana talked to me, and she's like, when I see my mom speak, she watches out for everybody, all parties involved, and her decision making, and that's what shapes the kind of leader she wants to be. She wants to be like her mom, where she takes all of the people involved and sees that what can benefit the whole community and everybody that is not only in that room but is also in the communities that her decision will actually make a positive impact in. She also sees that her mom really relies on her staff to be really diligent and be able to do the things that they need to do without her having to micromanage them. She also makes decisions that are very clear, precise, and articulate. And I think that's one of the things she says she really admired about her mom, and that it really, really drives the way that she sees herself as a leader and how she uh, hopes to be perceived as a leader. So where does this align for us as far as does the leadership style match? Well, as far as our workloads, we are given day-to-day tasks that we need to do without much immediate put from our team lead. So she does make sure that we have the most say in what we do day to day. We are, for the most part, autonomous. We come up with strategies together for each of our clients and then we handle our own tasks. She does provide all the resources that we need and gives us all the knowledge and tools that we need to have to complete our task, and also provides additional information and training as needed. Accountability, like I said, we went together, we lose together, but the one thing at the end of the day she does is that she makes sure that if there's an error that happens, if the client sees that something went awry, she does take responsibility for the mishaps. And then on the back end, we sort of identify what the steps to correct are and what we can prevent, and we let that client know what we're going to do. But she always steps to the forefront and make sure that, for the most part, um, she takes on the fault, but then as a team, we work together to really find what we can do to really better the process and structures that it won't happen again. So in all, I really do think that Ariana really does fall into the delegate leadership style, and I really do look for her as a great example of a leader, just from when I've been working with her, just seeing how she interacts with the clients and seeing how she interacts with us as employees. And the one thing that I'll tell you that I've taken the biggest takeaway from her is that leadership, really, in her eyes, is really about giving people the tools to succeed and then seeing them thrive. And I think that that's something that regardless of what leadership style you have, is something that you should have in your corner as a leader.